Lisa, you might want to listen to this right now, okay? Tell me right now, what are you telling yourself?
I'm telling myself that I can work even though my body is killing me right now.
Are you really telling yourself that?
Yes.
What is the content that you're putting into your brain right now? What is it that you're telling your brain right now? This moment, write it down. Tell me what you're thinking right now. Because your body hears everything your mind thinks. So whenever you walk in here tired because you went to Michigan, where'd you go this weekend?
I went to Indy. I'm not tired.
She went to Indiana, and she's walking in here, and she's saying, I'm tired. I do the same thing. Whenever I wake up every single morning at 4:59. 4:59. You know why I wake up at 4:59? Because I just feel better with the fact of waking up with a 4 instead of a 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because mine is 5.
Does that make sense? Hey, I want to boost the guy. Hey, take that thing back. 4:59. Get up at 4:59. You tell everybody.
You are looking skinny today.
No, I'm not. I'm getting fatter and fatter.
You look fat.
So hey friends, thank you for getting on here. It's Monday morning. Monday mornings, I think I think Coach Burt told me this. More heart attacks happen on Monday morning at a certain age because you dread going into work so bad.
Oh, I love
your life.
I like working for Good Time Tommy.
Yeah, I love
Okay,
coming to
well, hey, I appreciate that. So, hey, here's what I want to ask you guys right now. What are you currently feeding your mind? What is the content you're putting up there? Because you're whatever you're feeding yourself, your thoughts, all that stuff comes from what it sees, what it's thinking. So what are you telling yourself? Hey, weatherman, I see you on here. We just did this. So here's what I think you should be telling yourself. Number one, I think you should focus on positivity. Hey, David, how you doing, friend? Good to see you Friday night as always. Your thoughts, your content, all the things that you're putting into this thing up here, all this thing is whatever you tell it to. It doesn't think for you. That's just emotions. Whenever that happens, you can tell yourself what you're going to think. So if you're watching the news, if you're listening, some of my friends are so involved with politics. Oh, they're so involved with it. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't even want to hear this stuff. Because really, what we are hearing, it's always negative. I don't care if you're on the far left or if you're on the far right. It's always something negative about the other side. It does not matter where you are. It's always negative. So whenever you're hearing that, your thoughts are going to be negative. I know a developer in this town. I don't know them personally, but I know they did this a few years, I guess it was a little over a year ago. They gave away a gold mine because they thought Hillary Clinton was going to be in office. Just because they thought that Hillary Clinton was going to come in office, they gave something away. Now they're sitting there and they're thinking, God, that was stupid. Why did we do that? Because of fear. They were planting that in their mind that if we don't do this, bad things are going to happen. So it's got to be focused on positivity. How much of your daily life is positive, Kathleen? You get around people like me or Lisa, you might come in and we're bitching and complaining about something. Be aware of what you're listening to. Also be aware of how you're leading other people around you to think. Do you want to be somebody that's negative? If you're going to attract whatever it is you are. If you're negative, you're going to have some negative friends. If you're positive, you're going to have some positive friends. So focus on positivity. You can get as much positivity as you possibly want right now on the internet. All you got to do is go to YouTube. Thank you for the like. I appreciate the people on here that are watching me. Good morning to you. I hope this right here will train your mind to do one thing. Think positive. Number two, I think I'm not very good about this, but you should write down what you want to accomplish. What are you talking about over there?
She's doing squats.
Are you, hey, Lisa? Lisa's about to do some calisthenics over here, it looks like. So number one, positivity. Number two, you've got to track what you're doing. You've got to have some type of, I can't see what Kimberly wrote. Hey, I can't. I completely. She sent me a text. Derek Gall, happy birthday, buddy. I don't know what you said, Kimberly, but if you're still on here, post it. I don't care if it's good or bad about me. But Derek Goblin, what do you wake up and tell yourself every morning? Derek Goblin is a very, very high achiever. He is confirmed. No, he is. It's confirmed that we are best friends. But to achieve like that guy, imagine what he's telling himself. Carrie Ann Sear just got on here. What do you tell yourself, Carrie Ann Sear? Because think about this, if you have not, take me up until 35, 36 years old in my life, I didn't have a lot of successes. I had a lot of bad things or average things. So a lot of my thoughts were it was just out of the natural flow of habit thinking that don't make any sense. But after everything that happened to me, it was just natural for me to think average. It was natural for me to think good things aren't going to happen until you make that shift. You do have to make a decision that I'm going to think differently. So I would be very careful today what you're listening to. I'll be very, very cautious about negative information that you're hearing from your friends, because let me tell you something. You hear all this stuff from the people that you trust. Growing up, you hear things from your mom, your dad, your uncle, whoever. You trust all this information that they're giving you, and even though you love them, even though they're great people, they could still give you bad information. You could grow up your whole life thinking something that may not be true. You could grow up your whole life thinking a way that you should not think. Become aware of how you're thinking. It's very simple. What are you being influenced by? If you're sitting around, I don't care what you say. If you're watching Fox News all day, it's going to affect you negatively. I don't care how much information you've got. Think about this. Is the content negative or is it positive? They're going to tell you it's informative. You need to know this stuff. Well, really, what it's going to do is it's going to shape the way you think. Do you want to think positive or do you want to think negative? What do you want to think like, Kathleen?
Positive.
You got to think positive. So if I'm sitting here and I'm getting great, truthful information, but it's all negative, it's going to influence. It's going to influence me. It's going to influence the people I'm around. So what are you feeding your brain? I just want to come on here and do a quick 3 or 4 minute. How long have we been live? 47 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. That's about all I wanted to do. So think about this. What you feeding yourself? What are you feeding this guy? All this thing is up here is what you tell it to be. You're deciding how your brain is going to think. The more you want to learn, the more information you want to learn, Kathleen, here's what you'll find out. You want to learn more. Have you ever noticed that? Whenever you're in a learning mode, a learning mindset, it leads to more action to try to learn more. Whenever you don't want to learn anything, the same thing happens. It's just opposite. If you're not focused on trying to learn, you won't want to learn anything. So that's just the way our mind works. We in control of our mind. Don't allow other people to control how you think. Tell yourself, this is how I'm going to think. I appreciate the like. Scott Lumley, how you doing, friend? Getting off, about to go teach Mastering Monday. Every Monday we come together and I'm teaching the peeps how to sell. We talk about overcoming objections. So we're about to get in there. We're going to be positive. Kim Neese, poking fun, but we love you. Avoid the news and love each other. Have a good. Is that what you said? I don't mind you. I don't mind you getting on here. You saying something about me? I keep getting these texts. All right. That's all I've got, Kathleen. Is there anything? Oh, my party. Got to talk about my party. It's positive. My party's going to be November 22nd. That's Wednesday. Ashley Hopkins, I need you at my party. Wednesday, November 22nd. Kim Neese got a birthday. A babysitter. I think she's even going to track down for, 56 minutes away. She's still going to drive. So commit to coming to my party. Hey, I'm going to leave you with one thing. Usually, whenever I go to something, I usually get what I think I'm going to get because I've walked in there with a predetermined thought. And it's amazing how powerful your mind is. You got to always remain open-minded to things. So, all right, guys, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for getting on here. Wednesday, November 22nd. I see it right there. The weatherman's posted that out there. Wink, wink. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, positive day. What are you paying attention to? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Even though the information might be right, it could still be negative, which will lead you down the wrong road.